Yesterday I made a video about the new map coming out, which is going to be the Rancho de Arroyo, but I also talked about something that I would like to see in the future of Call of the Wild, and that is going to be the 5-pin bow sight. Now this is the pin, or this is the bow sight that we have right now. This is the 5-pin bow sight. Everything is, you know, fine. It's not bad. However, there's no dots at the end of the sights, or there's no dots at the end of the pins. This is what I would like it to look like. And even if it doesn't look like it, this is the problem with this sight right now and why it's very difficult to use. So the way that I like to use it is zeroed in for 60 yards. If you look at the right, you can see we're zeroed in for 60 yards right now. Basically, that means, I'll show you right now how this works here. So the top pin's going to be 20, 10 to 20. The second pin is going to be about 40. So we have to hold between 20 and 40 for that. That's pretty good there. And then the top pin is going to be 20, like I said. So we're still good there. And now once we get to 40, it's going to be the second pin. And now we got to jump all the way to 60. So the yellow is going to be 60. We have to hold between 40 and 60. So 50 yards is going to be right between the gold pin and the second pin, which that's kind of a tough shot. To go from 40 all the way to 60 is basically a huge difference where we're going to have to try and guess where to put the pin. So in this case here, we're going to have to hold between 40 and 60. Which, yeah, it's doable, but it's pretty tough. It is pretty tough indeed. Yeah, like I said, it's definitely doable though. However, that's not the problem. The main problem about all of this is in order to do this, we have to be zeroed in for 60. Now say we jump up a big buck on the run. We pull out our M1 really quick, try and get on him. Guess what? We're zeroed in for 320 yards. We're not even gonna come close to hitting that thing. We're gonna shoot sky high and a huge buck's gonna get out of the way because we're not gonna be able to take the shot and get that buck. That's kind of a big problem because when we pull up on a big buck, we wanna be on. We wanna be able to put the crosshair, pull the trigger, and smoke that thing. Well, right there, that's gonna be a spine shot, and that buck is gonna run a long ways and we're not gonna get full score. That is a huge problem. So basically what we need is to have the zeroing not affect the bow and have the same thing where we have the 5-pin bow sight just like this, and we actually have fiber optic tips on the end of each pin so we can see, like I was showing you before. That is what I would like to see in Call of the Wild. I'm not trying to criticize anything. I'm just trying to say that that would be amazing for the future of Call of the Wild and bow hunting. But for now, I think we're going to stay zeroed in for 60 and we're going to use the second pin for 40. So hopefully we remember when we switch over back to our M1 and we jump up a big buck on the run to hit the zeroing button, because if we don't, that buck's going to be long gone. Alright guys, so we're out here on Silver Ridge Peaks and we're going to try and put our sight to the test here. We just got eyes on a decent muley buck. Now we're going to stay zeroed in for 60 and I'm going to try and get him into about 20 yards out for a nice shot. We got a decent buck right out there. He actually has kind of the whitetail rack, which is a pretty cool looking rack, and I definitely want to try and get him. Alright, we put out a couple of calls and our buck is actually right out there. He's trotting in, he's slowly working his way in, but he's hanging tight out there at about 60 yards. Now that's what we're zeroed in for, but that's not what we're trying to do here. We want him to come in as close as he possibly can for a nice shot. Alright, so he's holding tight right there at about 50 probably, maybe like 40. And that would be a really tough shot to take. We'll let him come a little closer. Alright, right there he's looking at about 20 yards, and that's definitely where we want him to be. Remember, it's going to be the top pin. I almost just smoked the wrong buck. The buck that we want is that buck right there, and I don't quite have a shot at him. Come on, step forward a little bit. All right, I'm out of breath. All right, here we go. That's our buck, Smoked him. All right, so, like I said, it's definitely gonna work for a little while, but it'd be so cool to be able to actually have fiber optic tips on the end of our sight. Anyways, perfect double lung liver shot, right exactly where we aimed, and a 214 beautiful muley buck there. Now imagine seeing this out on the Mexico map. You're probably going to think, ooh, it might be a whitetail. I would definitely think it could be a whitetail because it looks like it has a whitetail rack. There's a pretty good buck. Now that actually has another whitetail rack, but he has a chance at making gold. In fact, he's a guaranteed gold. 247 and I think like 220 and up is gold. So that's going to be pretty cool if we can get this buck. He's got a really cool rack and he's about 160 out here. We have a perfect win. Let's see if we can't make this happen. Anyways, our buck is right out there. And we got some pretty good cover right in front of us here. I think we're going to go prone and start calling and get this big buck to come in. All right, that should do the trick. We definitely got his attention. Now we just got to hope that he comes in. Perfect little spot right here too. You're not going to believe this, but as we're heading over trying to find that big buck, we actually lost his track and I lost him. But then we looked up here and found... Wait, is that him? No, that's not him. It's another whitetail rack. But anyways, I looked up here and found that. Now that is a huge muley. A very impressive buck. So he will definitely do. Considering the fact that I don't know where that other buck even went. I snuck up all the way to about 50 yards out from him. And there was no sound. Nothing happened. All of a sudden there was just no deer. Every single deer that was in that area took off. So what I think happened is I think a mountain lion moved in and scared all the deer. But this is a pretty good situation here. It's actually quite a bit better than the other place because here we have him bedded right out in this wide open meadow here. He's only about 100 yards in front of us. The other place that we were at, he was actually drinking, but he was in some really thick woods. So here we got a really good setup. What I think we're going to try and do is get to this tree right in front of us here, and I'm hoping we have cover. If we do, we're going to try and call that big buck into range. And right there is our buck. As soon as I said that, we got a gobbler call. That's kind of funny. What a coincidence. Hold up. Where are you going, buck? Where are you going, big buck? He's 100 yards out and he is a smart old buck. You know what it is? It's going to be another mountain lion. I don't even know what to say at this point. It's another mountain lion. Man, that's some tough luck. Another mountain lion comes in. We got this buck out here at about 90. I'm still trying to get his attention. The problem is that mountain lion is also... Well, let's try and creep over this ridge here and see if we can't get eyes on this buck because he took off from that mountain lion. I don't think he's going to go too far. Hopefully he comes back here soon. And look what we have right here, guys. Got 3 does out there. 4 does out there. There's the whitetail rack. Where is... Oh, right there he is. There's our big buck. He's about 80 yards out. He's pretty spookish. But he should calm down. Alright guys, he's about 75 yards out right there, right in that brush. We decided to move in a little bit closer and try and close the distance on this beautiful muley buck out here. He still doesn't want to quite step out yet, so I thought we'd just try and get close and get as close as we can. Alright guys. We just snuck up to 60 yards and there's our giant buck right there. Man, look at his rack. What a heck of a buck. And he's right there. He's actually quartering a little bit too much, but once he steps out, he's going to be in range and we're going to be able to take the shot. Okay. He's right there, 60 yards out. I think we're going to take the shot. He's actually in a little bit of grass. Don't really love that, but... Oh, did he just bed down? Oh, no. Okay. I think we're going to take the shot, guys. He's 60 yards right there. Perfect win. Perfect shot. That should be a smoke buck. You couldn't ask for a better outcome than that right there. You really couldn't ask for a better outcome. I mean, we took the shot. Everything looked good. He bedded down and just tipped right over right there. Man, that was incredible. Wow, let's go take a look at him. This was one big old smart buck. He was a stubborn, smart buck. Every time we saw him, he was always in the thickest brush and we couldn't quite get a shot off. Point case scenario here, he was right here bedded and he was right behind this brush here. We were right over there on the backside of that road there. We couldn't take the shot because he was right behind this stuff here. Finally, we snuck up on him and here he lays right here, a beautiful buck down. We smoked him at 60 yards out. Let's take a look at this incredible buck. He's gonna be a 242. We double lunged him at 61 yards. So a perfect shot and a beautiful giant muley buck down with the bow. Man, was that awesome, and man, was that totally worth it. Anyways, that's gonna be it. It was just gonna be a short, quick video, and I wanted to tell you guys kind of how I felt about this site, just to be able to clarify things up from yesterday's video. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think now that you know exactly what I was talking about. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.